Good early afternoon, everyone. Hey. I'm going to move down here if you guys don't mind. Whew. Thank you guys very much for coming here. Really appreciate it. I have 129 slides in 30 minutes, so I'm going to move fast. The presentations, just so you know, are going to be published at imninjas.com/ASE16, all lowercase. I sent it off to my designers, so in theory they'll publish it at 1:30, but then I realized today's Sunday or something, so they're not at the office, so it might be published tomorrow. All right, for those that don't know me, again, my name is Jim Boykin. I'm the CEO and founder of Internet Marketing Ninjas. I started out my company in 1999. We have about 70 employees, and we're in upstate New York near Albany, New York. You may know a handful of our communities. We have our Ninja blog. Ann Smarty is our community manager. You may know her. I own Webmaster World and SEO Chat and ThreadWatch and DevShed forums and the Create a Site forums. Bought all those in 2012. So, all these conferences, everyone always tells me, hey, we're white hat. We're Snow White. Everyone thinks their stuff is so pure. And then an update happens and boom, they're penalized. And you're like, why me? I thought it was so pure. Everyone always says, yeah, we're always Snow White. Of course, we are affiliate summit, so there are some people that know they're not Snow White here. You do what you got to do. All right. But many of you woke up one day and you said, where's my site? It was here yesterday, and your rankings went boom, and so you cried and screamed, and you got mad, and you said, Google's evil. They just want my AdWord money, right? Yeah. It's kind of true. They're pushing the organic results down further and further on the page, but that's a whole other talk. All right, so here's some of the common actions that people get. You have unnatural links to your site. Probably a lot of you are familiar with this. And you could also have your content as thin content. As affiliates, thin content is really a big thing because if you didn't know, if you're an affiliate, Google's not a fan of thin affiliate sites. Probably not a fan of affiliates at all, actually, but especially the thin affiliate site. If you have an affiliate program, they like you. If you're an affiliate, boy, you better have some unique content. You better have some value add stuff to your website. So here's the Panda, he's giving you the finger, and the Penguin, he's giving you the finger, and basically Google, and well, not Cuts anymore, he's off now with the government, but they look at what SEOs do, and then they filter and penalize as many unnatural patterns as they can find. And you can get spanked if you fit a pattern. This is interesting. So Marcus Tober, for those that don't know Marcus Tober, search metrics, they're similar to like an SEMrush, and they have all the ranking data. And Marcus said at one of the conferences, he says that 89% of sites that ranked 7 years ago aren't ranking today. And what he did is they basically looked at all their historical ranking data. They went back 7 years. Went back 7 years. And realized that they looked at those sites that ranked like 7 years ago, they looked at sites that ranked today, and they found that only 11% were left. Let me repeat that. Sites that used to rank 7 years ago, 89% of them no longer rank for anything. Now, some of those sites may have just died or been redirected, but the vast majority of these sites have been penalized by Google. We'll talk a little bit about that in a second. In fact, even if you look at more commercial phrases, it's probably even a higher percent. All right, so let's talk briefly about updates. So some of the biggest one, Panda update. What do you mean my content sucks? Well, you've been outsourcing it to some third world country or whatever, where English isn't their first language, and it's all how much can you get and how cheap can you get it. And basically the original website was like this. You had a regular website, and then you did that to it. And you wonder, why? Well, for a while, this is what you wanted to do. One keyword per page. Hey, if you're making $5,000 a month with 500 pages, why not have 500,000 pages? Make it big. Until Panda came along. All right, so links. Links are still the key to rankings in Google. I go to a lot of conferences, and everyone wants to talk about social media. Social media, it's fun. Yeah, games, Twitter, Facebook. It's like, because they don't want to do the hard work, which is links. And links is still the biggest part of the equation. There's a lot of people who want to bury their head in the sand and pretend that links don't matter. Bullshit. It is the most important factor to getting rankings. I don't care how good your social media is. I don't care how good your conversion rate optimization is and your split level testing and all that other stuff. Doesn't matter at all if you don't have backlinks. They've always been based on backlinks. Here's me and some Google guys in my autograph. Maintaining those rankings depends on many things. A lot of it based around user experience. But it's like, even if your user experience is great and you don't have links, you're not getting anywhere. At least with links, you got a chance now of ranking, and then to maintain those rankings, you need a good user experience. Links as a measurement aren't going away. Many people are like, hey, why does Google put such an emphasis on links? Why not social and other fun stuff to do? And it's like, no, they're not going away. Google's just better at filtering and penalizing links that appear to be unnatural. In fact, there was a guy at Google that spent his 20% of time creating a search engine that didn't involve links. And they looked it over and said it sucks. Gave up on that. So, I don't know how many of you know me, know any of my history. I'm no angel. I'm not here to preach all about being white hat. Well, a little bit, just in case there's a Google employee in the audience. But, I've been around a bit. I've sinned. I've been there. I've been on the other side. I did what worked for years. May have bought a link. Praise the Lord, it worked. And thank you, Internet. The world was a wonderful place. But suddenly penalized. What? I worked hard for those links. That's what everyone says. Yeah, well, they weren't natural. And I know why, because everyone had bosses saying, get me number one for this phrase. How do I do that? And his boss also says, get me number one for this phrase or you're fired. And his boss says that, and everyone said that. Get me to number one, all the bosses all the way down. And so what did you do? You got common anchor text. If you look at the 5 most common phrases that people link to your site, and if they look like cheap widgets, discount widgets, online widgets, blue widgets, it's like, that's what gets you penalized. You guys already know this. You want brand phrases as well. This looks artificial. This looks natural. This will get you penalized today. This won't. Don't be that guy. This game is long over. You guys know this, right? So, I go to these conferences, and I'm kind of known as the link guy often. People are always like, Tim, we want some white hat links. Okay. Then they follow it up with, here's the 5 phrases we're targeting. And then they say we need at least, X amount of backlinks per month and make sure they at least have a page rank or whatever. Well, page rank is gone. So then they replace it Moz, Majestic H, Ref Score or whatever. And you're like, ugh. And be sure that they all come from pages about this topic and make sure the anchor text is blue widgets. And we need to get links to all these commercial pages. And I'm like, not this again. Come on, guys. No. Or they say, hey, we've already got the low-hanging fruit. What's your low-hanging fruit that you got? And they're like, well, we submitted to a whole bunch of directories and article syndication, profile pages, forum links, paid law reviews, hired link builders, and interlinked our own network of site. And I'm like, you think that's low-hanging fruit? No, that's what that fruit looks like to me. Like, no, that's the stuff that gets you penalized. Here's just some quick myths. There's no such thing as hundreds of directories, hundreds of article syndication sites, or blog reviews, or guest posts, or hundreds of forum comments. And let me just take a little side step here. Kind of the big buzzword these days is private link network, right? Everyone's got their own private link network. What do I say? It works. And I guess the question you got to ask yourself is, do you have a site and a brand that you can afford to get penalized? Because everyone thinks their private link network will never get busted. Even with the Black Hat forums, like, hey, no footprint. Google comes after that stuff. So I know there's a lot of talk these days about private link networks. Just so you know, it's kind of a dirty word if you don't know that. Just be careful. Be careful. It can work, but it also can get you penalized. There's no such thing as a safe private link network or private blog network. If you're aiming for commercial phrases, you're much more likely to be above the radar. Like every time that Google does an update, They always say, oh, only 2 to 3% of the searches are actually affected by this. You're like, gee, how come we always fall in that 2 to 3%? And it's like, well, commercial searches are about 2 to 3% of all searches. Yeah, so whenever Google says, oh, this update affects 2 to 3% of searches, that's for commercial phrases. Well, what is a commercial phrase? Well, a commercial phrase is something like here. I grabbed 2 books. This is looking at SEMrush. 2 phrases. Here's one for coloring books. There's 3.6 thousand searches. Cost per click is 9 cents, not commercial. Commercial phrase is something like internet marketing. You got 9.9 thousand searches. The average cost per click is 6.8 cents. The higher the commercial value, the more, in a sense, that Google is running your site through filters looking for SEO stuff. And if it looks like you've been doing SEO stuff, you could be in trouble. Remember that big site too that people built? Well, remember the original site was normal. And if you say, well, let's look at the original site and how many of those pages had backlinks? I don't know, 10, 15, 20. And then you added these million more pages, and how many of these pages have backlinks? None. And remember her? It's everyone that comes up to me, they're like, we're white hat. And remember her? Well, she got busted doing SEO, and she's going to have to serve some hard time. Christ, it's been nearly 2 years since a new Penguin update. Nearly 2 years. It's coming any day now. I laugh because Google's been saying that for about a year now. Any day now, it's coming. They kept guessing dates of when it's going to happen, and then they said, we're not going to guess anymore. And just last week, I think someone at Google said, it's still coming. We don't know when. But it's interesting. Let me just quickly go on to this, even though I don't have time. Panda. So Panda went up to like update number 29, and then they stopped doing updates on days. They say it's still going on, but it's not like it happens on a day where you can see, here's your traffic, boom, you fall, and you're like, ooh, what happened on this day? Oh, Penguin number or Panda number 30, whatever it is. Well, they don't do that anymore. What it appears as if they do is they have like, here's your old rankings, and kind of Google has these old scores for searches for your site, and then they kind of assign these new scores. And it doesn't happen overnight. It happens during the course of 3 to 6 months. You slowly reach your new scores. Then one day you wake up and you're like, what happened? Over the past like 6 months, our traffic's just slowly gone down. Well, it could be Panda. Penguin, they say, their next update that we've been waiting for about 2 years for, they say that's going to be the last one as well, the last official day where something happens. So we will see one more day where whoosh, sites go down, whoosh, sites come up. Those people have been waiting a couple of years to recover. Everyone's crossing their fingers. If they don't recover, you're just fucked. You're not throw away your site. Where was I? Oh, so this is going to be the last Penguin update. And what will kind of happen after that is there's probably going to be no more days of updates. You have your new score, you got your old score, you got your new score over 6 months, you go down, and everyone's like, what happened? Was it the content? Was it the links? Was it the above the fold? Was it, who knows? You got to look at everything. Or was I better cruise? So what do you use to find your backlinks? Why? Who here has done a disavow, either preventative or you got hit or any reason? Who's done a disavow? Who hasn't done a disavow? I should just say, if you didn't raise your hand, I assume you haven't. You better do it now, because there's going to be another Penguin update. And you need to analyze your backlinks and separate the good from the bad. Now, if you haven't been hit, you want to do a preventative, which means grab the worst of the worst and upload that to your disavow. But you need to do it. Because everyone who looks at their backlinks is always like, someone's trying to get us penalized. Maybe. You're going to get tons of scrapers and other stuff, but the next time Google does that Penguin update, who knows when they're going to refresh that or have any chance of getting out. If you haven't done a preemptive disavow, you need to pull down your backlinks, analyze them, separate them, and upload the worst stuff to Google's disavow document. Better to do it before you're penalized than after, because you could be waiting for years. So what do you use to analyze your backlinks? Do you use Moz? Some probably, yeah. Majestic? Ahrefs? Google Webmaster Tools? I hate to say it, I love these guys, but they all suck. If you look at Moz, Majestic, and Ahrefs, they're a crawler, they're spidering the web. When you hit big sites, you can only go so deep and so wide, and they only know a fraction of what Google knows. But in Google's Webmaster Tools, it's like, here's a shitty sample of your backlinks. And you're like, what? I'd grab backlinks from all these. In fact, we have our own tool that grabs from Moz, Majestic, Ahrefs, SEO kicks, and it's actually, the overlap is pretty scary. The main links they all know about. When you get deeper into the links, Moz knows about some, Ahrefs knows about others, Majestic knows about others. Heads up, when you go to grab your backlinks from Google, make sure that you're grabbing the backlinks from your www version, your non-www version, your HTTPS version, because your backlinks to all three of those could be different. Major point, make sure you download all three. If you have to turn off a redirect, like on our non-www, I had to go to my designers, turn off the redirect for a couple minutes. So I can grab those backlinks. You also need to look at other sites that might 301 into your website to analyze those backlinks as well. We have a tool that compares Google versus the others. Just I'm not even going to go through this, but they're all different. Put them all together, we get 12,000 unique backlinks to our site. So how do you analyze your backlinks? You pull down all your backlinks from all these sources. Now you have a huge spreadsheet. You need to analyze them to separate the good and the bad. You have to find patterns and values. We do have a free tool here at imninjas.com/Google Backlinks that allows you to analyze some of the items. For example, we downloaded the backlinks from Google. There was 40,000 backlinks that Google showed us. When we separated that into how many unique domains, there was about 7,000 unique domains. We take those 7,000, we separate them into categories we call live and dead. The dead stuff is things like host errors, 302 redirects, which there's debate on now, links that are no followed, possible not found links, no response links. More than half of what Google shows in their backlinks is crap. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. You don't need to analyze this stuff because it's not going to affect your SEO. So you analyze the live links. You need to look at things by top level, IP, homepage, site-wide, directory structures. There's all sorts of patterns that this tool does. Even though links may fit a pattern, it doesn't mean it's good or bad. That's for you to look at. Is this a bad pattern? Is this just a pattern that's fine? Look at the words that people are using to link to your site. Look at the pages that people are linking to. Here's a whole bunch of other stuff to look at, common registrants. So many people are like, all of our domains in our private link network are domain by proxy. Yeah, Google knows all that. They have their deal with domain tools. They know who owns the website. Domain by proxy isn't enough. Separate C classes, a whole bunch of other stuff. But here's other things to look at, other items. We even look at things like, we look at all your backlinks and who links to the people that link to you. Ooh, there's no public tool out there that does that. And you can find a lot more patterns. Here's fairly interesting. If we look at a bunch of backlinks through one of our tools here, and we look at how many domains are linking to the site according to Majestic, and how many keywords it ranks according to SEMrush, and what's the monthly value of these links. If you look at one of these a little bit closely, here's a site called Outsource It to Philippines. Over 3,000 unique domains that link to it, 38 keywords that rank in the top 100, only a $17 SEMrush value, which is really low for a site with over 3,000 backlinks. In fact, if we look at the history of it, remember those 89% of websites that have been penalized? There's one. Let's look at some more. So many people, because there's no more page rank, they look at Moz scores and Majestic and Ahrefs, they all have a domain score and a page score value, and they look at those. Stop if you're looking at those. Here's a sheet where we can look at the Majestic domains, pages indexed, SEMrush value in 2010, 12, 14, current values. I just want to look at a couple of these up closer. So here's one, Pro Garden Biz, 1,658 Majestic domain backlinks. Used to be worth a whole bunch of money. You can see it's been penalized. But here's the scores. Decent domain scores according to Moz, Majestic, Ahrefs. Okay, page scores. A lot of people would get a link from a site like that, throw it through their metrics and say, it's a good link. No, it's not. The site's been penalized. You don't want a link from that site. Here's kind of another one, forum.schnitz. I was analyzing backlinks. It has about 5,000 domain backlinks. Used to be a PageRank 7 when there was PageRank. Here's the scores. So forum.snitch/donations. Domain scores, ooh, yummy, you think, huh? And the page scores, ooh, yummy, you think, right? Well, I'd love to have that link. No, you don't. It's worth $1 today. Why? Well, so he's been penalized. And I'm like, forum snitch, that sounds familiar to me a little bit. I go to the website, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of remember this. And I go down to the page, and I think I grabbed a screenshot a few days after March 27th, and I'm like, oh, people are still buying links on this page. Look at all these gambling, blackjack casinos, Las Vegas SEO consultant. Are you crazy? Where was I? And then I go back to December of 2002, and I'm like, yeah, I remember that site. That's my link up there for internet marketing. Yeah, this site hasn't passed PageRank since December of 2003. It was probably me that got the site no longer passing PageRank, but people are still doing it to this day. It's like, no. And again, remember that 89% of sites that ranked 7 years ago no longer. I'm posing a crazy presentation he gave. Look at him pointing. All right, so what are the most valuable types of links that you can get? So we got to talk about some link building. I'm going to skip past this. You want to be in Mr. Rogers. And again, I'm talking the white hat stuff. If you're doing other stuff, hey, you do what works. So where was I? I'm going to talk about a couple things. Competitor, neighborhood link building, trust bait link building, broken link building, digital assets for natural link building, and social signals. All right, broken link building. This is starting to get a little bit old, but it's an oldie but a goodie. So let's say you're on a web page. Here I'm on a page on an EDU, and down on the bottom I see these related links, and this link here is broken. No longer works. It goes to some other website that's now a 404 page. So well, let's go into the Wayback Machine and see what used to be on that page that no longer exists. All right, well, here's the page. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So you go to your writer and you say, hey, here's this link to a Wayback URL. See what used to be there, write it, make it better, and cite more resources. And then you go to the client and you say, hey, publish this educational web page on your site, on your client site. He says, all right. And then you write to that professor or that EDU page. Hey, Professor Bob, I was researching about Henry Ford and the assembly line, blah, 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 blah. See, you got a broken link. Here's a great fix. Clientsite.com, history of the automobile. They often write back and say, thank you so much. Not only did you point out a problem, but you gave me a solution. You're awesome. And I'm like, thank you. All right, so more. Page, broken link on the bottom. Well, what if other people are linking to this page on some other website? Hey, this EDU is linking to it. I bet you there's other sites linked to it. Wow, there's 200 other people that link to that broken link. Well, I'm going to write to Professor, I'm going to take those 200 people and decide which one of those I want to write to. So, hey, Professor Gene, I was researching about Henry Ford and the assembly line. Hey, Professor Paul. Hey, Professor Peter. Hey, Professor Ace. Any KISS fans out here? No? Okay. So you write to those people. Hey, you got a broken link. All right, let's talk about some trusted link building. So again, we have this page about the history of the automobile that's on the client site now. And so what I want to do is I want to see other people. So I'm going to run a search for, say, for history, automobile, Henry Ford, Carl Benz, a nice non-commercial search. Any page that has those items on it is going to be a good resource. So I'll grab the top 1,000 results. I'll suck those into my computer. I'll look at sites that, pages that look like they link out to other sites. So I can write to them and say, here's one more link that I think you should link out to. So I'm going to write to those. I'm going to write, hey, Tom, doing a research on the history of the automobile, blah, blah, blah. Here's a great page I think you should link to. Hey, Dick, hey, Harry, I'm going to write to all those people. All right, next area, competitor link harvesting. You got to be real careful when you're looking at your competitors' backlinks to decide which ones of those that you want to try and get to, because they could have a bomb in their backlinks. Remember the 89% of sites that ranked 7 years ago no longer exist? Be careful doing this. Because so many people are like, hey, what is competitor X doing? We need to replicate it. Well, careful. Competitor X may not be there on the next update. We all want to be in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. I'm talking so white hat here. All right, so how do you do that? So you identify 3 to 10 of your top competitors. You download their backlinks, Moz, Majestic, Ahrefs, or all 3. In a sense, you got to do the disavow, separate the good from the bad. After you separate those, you can put all the links into categories. What are blogs, what are forums, what are news, articles, resource pages, etc. Make a list of sites you can get on, and try and get a link on the page that also links to your competitor. If you can't get on that page, then try and get anywhere on that website. All right, this is one of our internal tools to do that. Again, we look at all the backlinks. We have actions, anchor, rejected, yada, yada. It's just one of our internal tools. Digital assets for links. Digital assets. All right, our client list is confidential, but here's some example. Here's a big infographic. Here's how it's doing so far on the client's website. 532 tweets, 5,800 shares, 1,600 Google Plus, 729 Pinterest pins, but 71 unique domain backlinks. Yeah, we'll just move on. All right, so some of those backlinks included the Huffington Post, BuzzFeed, Distractified, Board Panda. And if you look at the social shares on these sites, it's like, wow. Now, I often feel that, let's say, the Huffington Post puts the client's infographic on their site. That infographic will be hot linked to the client. There's going to be 1 or 2 links beneath it going to the client. I feel that Google knows that 90% of that page was originally found on the client site and is attributed to the client. And like links to these pages or some of the other things may pass right along to the client. The social value, but where was I? George Takai as well. He posted this infographic on his Facebook, got 37,000 shares just off of his. He's actually posted 2 of our infographics without ever having to ask. Here's another infographic we did. Here's how it's doing so far on the client site. It got 61 unique domain backlinks, including the Huffington Post, Washington Post, Daily Mail, Business Insider. Got on 2 TV broadcasts as well. 5 minutes, okay. Here's another infographic we did. This is the A to Z of how alcohol is created. Here's this little piece of it. It's actually a very long one. This particular one, tweets, a lot of Facebook shares, Google Plus One, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and 55 unique domain backlinks. Here's some of those unique domain backlinks: Yahoo, Fox News, Lifehacker, Food and Wine, who was one of their biggest influencers within their industry as well. Here's another one we did: East Asia, tweets, Google Plus Ones, Pinterest, and 78 unique domain backlinks. To be honest with you, I do a lot of these for the backlinks. They're cool. They got lots of social signals. Is any of this going to convert? You know, is someone going to be like the A to Z of alcohol and suddenly buy this guy's product? No. None of this stuff. Not going to convert. But ask yourself, where does the majority of your traffic come from? Is it social? Is it Google? I'm doing this. It sends some social signals, which is nice. Yeah. But I'm a link whore. I want the links. I don't ask for those links. If it goes viral, it just spreads and you get links. And why do I want the links? Because the majority of our clients' traffic is coming from Google. And I need to do something to get backlinks to the client's website. You can't just sit around and be like, I got a boring topic. I'm not going to write anything that's going to get backlinks. You know, you are not an SEO if you are not doing something to get backlinks to your website. You're not. Create great content. Promote it. Any kind of content, get it promoted. All right, so why am I doing these? You know, hey, it's great that these got all these Pinterest pins and social signals and our social team's all happy and they're picking up stuff. And it's like, yeah, but, you know, these clients, about 5% or less of their traffic is coming from social. But like 85% of their traffic is coming from Google. So I'm going to do whatever it is to try and get backlinks to my website. For Google. For Google. Did I say that? For Google. I'm a link whore. These get good signals, but yeah, you know, look at all these Google Pluses, Pinterest, 78 unique domain backlinks. That's what I'm after. I want to create great stuff that gets backlinks. I got to create great stuff to get backlinks. 78, you got Dorkly, Design Taxi, College Humor, IO9, Playboy, all sorts of signals on there. Everyone's happy. Is any of that stuff going to convert? No. But the links and the signals are going to help you rank higher in Google for the stuff that you are targeting. All right. We build lots of free tools to get backlinks. At Ninjas, we give away lots of free tools. Why? Well, I'm a nice guy. I like giving away free tools. No, bullshit. It's about the backlinks. I give these out because people link to us. You got to be doing something. What do? Free tools. Have them. Have them. Our top backlinks are the free tools. I do something. Look at who you link out to. Just a quick side note. A lot of people, it's who links to you, and everyone's focused on that. Do an audit of your website to look at who you link out to. They should be trusted, relevant. not penalized sites. Hey, if you're linking out to a bunch of sites that have been penalized, what do you think that does to your trust? You got to do a complete audit of who you're linking out to. And don't just no-follow everything. Sites rank higher if they follow the links. We've run this test over and over again. There's so many people that, I don't know if people here are thinking things like the old words of like siloing or page rank sculpting, or, they're like, I'm going to no index or no follow the links that go to my About Us page or whatever. No, stop. Who's looking at that kind of stuff? PageRank doesn't flow that way anymore. Link out to other trusted sites. If you have 3 product pages, product page A, B, and C, let's say they're pretty much the same thing, same keyword density, same internal links, but page A is like a normal page. It doesn't link out to anywhere. Maybe it's like some kind of spark plug page or something, an auto part page, and it's the normal one. It doesn't link out to anything. Page 2, let's say it's very similar, but it links out to like 4 other sites. Maybe it links out to the Spark Plug Association or some edu page about spark plugs or a gov, if it had some external links. And then maybe page 3, you've got 10 of these external links on there. And then if you wait a month and see how do those 3 pages perform, it's time. All right, I'm going into the page with the 10 external links is going to rank the best. The one with 4 will rank the second best. The page that doesn't link out is going to be the worst page. Link out to other sites. We have a whole bunch of white papers and case studies and ebooks and presentations and free tools, and we have the Jim and Ann show, and there we go. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. We did it, 129 slides in 30 minutes. Thank you guys so much.